pound and a half of ground beef. And today I'm going to be making a classic recipe for porcupine meatballs. I think everybody's made them at least one time. I know I've made them more than one time. And this is a real easy recipe. I believe it was my mom's. I mean, and you can doctor these up any way you want, but this is your basic, very simple recipe for porcupine meatballs. So, let's get started. About a pound and a half of ground beef, about a half a cup of rice, and a third cup of finely chopped onion. And we have a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and about a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. And you can switch these spices up to your liking or whatever. And then we have a half a cup of water that we're going to add to this. And I'm going to need that for my sauce. And then we just start smashing them up like that. And, oh, wow. Let that sit a second. You don't want to overwork your meat either. And I'm going to just let this sit while I quickly throw together the rice, or the sauce, I should say. I'm just going to let that sit there for now. Take off these gloves, because I don't need those on for that. And for the sauce, we are going to need a can of tomato sauce, and this is a 15-ounce can. You can use whatever kind you have, whatever's on sale. And we have 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, and I'm just going to go like this, if I can get them out. Oh, our little stuff. Oh, guess I should have covered those up. Sometimes I prepare things beforehand and I had to run to the store, so these were sitting out. They'll work fine. And a teaspoon of Worcestershire, whatever way you want to call it. And then I'm going to need about another half a cup of water. I know some, I'll use a little bit more than a half a cup, maybe more towards a cup of water here. I know some people, you could even use tomato juice for this instead of water. You could use tomato soup, you could use tomato juice, I mean whatever. And I'm just going to lightly stir this together. You could even probably use ketchup if you wanted to, you know, in a bind. You wanted to make something for supper, I'm sure you could do that too. Like I said, there are so many recipes for porcupine meatballs. It's not. Set you aside. And then we just start making some meatballs. There. Put them in a little pan. There we go. Yeah, we'll go that way. And just keep on making meatballs till your meat mixture is gone. You don't want to crowd them in a pan. So you don't want them super tight or super close or super tight in the pan here. Kind of leave a little space. They will cook down, but you still don't want them, you know, hovering over each other, crowded in the pan here. This one's a little bigger, so I'm going to stick that in the corner. You should probably be able to get like 3 rows here easily, I would think. And here's another one. I haven't made these in a long, long time. Another one of those meals you make when you're newly married. You have no money for groceries. Or at least I didn't. And you're like, okay, let's see how far I can stretch this. And I think that's why so many recipes for a while there contained ground beef. Now, I mean, people eat the hamburgers, but back when I was young, hamburger was the way to stretch a family food bill. And you had to back then. So, we ate spaghetti and meatballs, we ate these porcupine meatballs, we ate meatloaf, we made hamburger stroganoff, we made chili, Spanish hamburgers. Oh God, what else did we eat? Well, you name it, we made it with the hamburger. Hamburger just with potatoes and cheese and, yeah, whatever you could. Goulash. My sister-in-law made goulash often. My family did not eat it. So when she would make it, I'd go over to her house. And her family didn't like meatloaf. So when I made meatloaf, I'd send her over a plate. And we did that. So, what else did we make? Oh geez, I can't even remember. I don't, I use hamburger, but not like I used to. And a lot of people grew up with hamburger helper, and that my kids were not crazy about, so I didn't use that often, but I know some people lived on that too. Oh yeah. Often groceries were expensive back then before us because, we didn't make $20 an hour working at the Burger King. I mean, good grief. I mean, I don't even think my husband at the time, I don't even think he made $10, $12 an hour working at the mill, that he did not make 20. Maybe if he worked overtime, but yeah. So, but things change, and that's the way life goes. So, anyway, you get them all in your pan, and I'm going to just get this cleaned up. I will be, let me move you over, stick you in there. There we go. Okay, we have our meatballs done, and they're ready to go into the oven, except we have to pour over our sauce, which is tomato sauce, Worcestershire sauce, brown sugar, and some water. And like I said, this is just your very classic, simple recipe for porcupine meatballs. I know I have made them many times and spiced them up. I have made them before, with ketchup or tomato juice, tomato soup. I've added different spices and Worcestershire sauce to the meatball mixture itself. But this is just your very classic, old-fashioned type of recipe for the porcupine meatballs. It's something I think my mom made, very simple like this, fast to get in the oven. And I'm going to cover these with the oil, and I'm going to bake it at 350. Oh, I'm going to check it in an hour, and we'll take one of our meatballs out and test it. If it isn't done, what I do then is I just kind of put the meatball back together and put it all back in the oven again. So that's what we're going to do. And like I said, this is very basic, very classic recipe. And you want to spice yours up or do something different, you are more than welcome to. But I thought I'd just do a very basic, simple recipe here for the meatballs. And I'm going to do this number. And cover it up. 350. I'm going to check it in an hour. I'm going to test a meatball just to make sure that they're getting done, because you don't want to cut into a raw meatball inside. That's not ever a good thing. And then I'm going to see how much longer to go, and then when I come back, I'll let you know how long I actually baked them for. So we'll see you back here in a little bit. There you have it, porcupine meatballs right out of the oven. And that's exactly why they're called the porcupine meatballs, because of all the way the rice looks like that. And they are good. We're going to have our meatballs with a side salad. And that's it. And that should be plenty. They cooked for an hour. So they were done within an hour, 350. I am going to put them back in just a little bit longer because we have something to do outside real quick. I want to get that done before we sit down to eat. But there we go. How's that look? Porcupine meatballs. Simple, quick, good, delicious, and a home-style comfort food. Let me grab you one more here. Now you can serve these with a little sauce, a little ketchup, whatever. There we go. That's it. So they look like done. Little meatballs with porcupines, quills sticking out. And there we go. All done. A nice, fun supper. Hope you enjoy this recipe. Hope you give it a try. And I hope you stop back again. And if you'd like, you can like and subscribe. I would appreciate that. Leave a comment. And I will answer it if possible. If you have a question, I can answer it if possible. We'll certainly try. Have a good day.